Welcome back, YouTube family.
What's up, YouTube?
As always, we are so excited to have you here, but please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I got it again.
He got the C.
And just continue to be awesome and be amazing.
And know that we love you guys.
Yes.
Like, I know we say it every time, but I don't know about all creators, but for us, we're just deeply, deeply grateful. And I think also, which this is just going to segue right into what we wanted to talk about. I think Chris and I have really learned to practice the art of gratitude, and we know how life-giving that is because of things that we've been through, including our marriage almost failing at one point.
Yep.
And he and I, we've talked about this a lot. Like, do we go into more detail? Do we not? But after reading comments over the last few months and seeing how many people say they want to have a marriage like ours and that we're couple goals and all of the things, we just really felt like it was very important for us to be completely transparent, completely authentic with you guys, and let you know that while, yes, what you see with us now is legit. Like, we aren't faking this. When we kiss on the camera, when we dance, and the things that we do with each other, it is the real deal.
Yep.
And we are so blessed to have a love like this. Not that we didn't have that love when we were having problems.
We've always had that love. It's just that we went through a whole lot. God basically knew what we were going to have to go through, but he gave each of us what we needed when we needed it, and he put the people that needed to be there to basically, because God wanted us to make it, and God wants all love.
He wants all marriages and couples to make it.
All love and marriage and things to make it.
Now, let me make sure I make that clear. If you're in a relationship where you're being abused,
we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that.
That's not what we're talking about.
What we're talking about is what we're seeing now more than ever is marriage is ending, and divorce is just, it's like people rush into it so quickly now, and it's almost like we feel it's being glamorized. And so we just want to really encourage couples that are watching our channel and that are watching us, that while, again, this is real, but it also wasn't always like this. There was a time when he and I couldn't really even have discussions without them ending in screaming battles.
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't. So there was times when we couldn't talk, like we couldn't talk about money at all.
No.
Without it turning into just a massive argument. We couldn't talk about business without it turning into a fight. I mean, we couldn't discuss a lot of very, very crucial things that are involved in a relationship without it just turning into an argument, or, you know, one of us getting just angry.
We threatened to divorce each other all the time.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if we were in a fight and just like, oh, okay, well, then I guess we just need to separate. And, you know, like, we were just so mean and disrespectful.
It was very dysfunctional because we didn't know how to respect and communicate one another, to basically work through those things and recognize in those moments, okay, this is actually what's happening, and this is a mirror of myself, or whatever. And so, as an example, or just basically, this is where we got to. When we started our business, and Aaron and I had always struggled, especially with money. Money was a big one because we had very different perspectives about it, but also...
and we didn't really have a lot of it.
Well, I mean, not having, which that obviously money is, you know, a huge part of relationships. But what we say is that we didn't really understand behind that
no
what the real problem was. You know, we thought it was like an amount, but it wasn't. It was how we saw it. It was the value and kind of the perspective that we had on, and what our definition of it was to success or to power or whatever you want to call it. But when we went to Marriage Rescue with John Taffer,
shout out to John.
Shout out to John Taffer.
Thank you.
We're still dancing and we're still doing all the things.
Yes.
But basically what John did, John separated the two of us, and he got in both of our faces and in our business individually.
Yeah.
And brought to our attention what we both needed to wake up and realize.
And so honestly, we have a longer story about our marriage. And if you guys would like to hear it, please write in the comments that you would like to hear it, because we have a longer, like, drawn out.
We would do a multiple part.
We could do a
series.
and talk to you about the infidelity. We could talk to you about the addiction. We could talk to you about the anxiety, the eating disorder, the trauma. There's
the lies,
the lying.
Yeah,
like there are so many things.
So many different things that we went through all of it.
All of it,
yeah.
And we could cover that.
Yep.
In a series. So if you guys are interested in that, please let us know. But before we jump off, because we didn't want to make a super long video this time, we want to leave you with some tips that we put into our book, Couple Gold.
Yep.
Shout out to Couple Gold. You can find that on Amazon, and it might be linked in this video.
We'll drop the link in here.
But we wanted to just give you a few tips that we have learned to implement into our marriage, and they've changed the game for us.
Yep.
Number 1, ladies, honor your man. Respect him and make him your king. I know I'm a strong woman and I may get some shit for that.
Most queens are strong.
Thank you, honey. But when I started honoring him and respecting him and treating him like he was my king and complimenting him and servicing him and acknowledging the things that he was attempting to do and was doing, it changed the game for us. It really, really has. And he no longer feels disrespected and unappreciated. And so many of our fights, I believe, looking back, came from him feeling dishonored and misunderstood. So that is one of my best tips. And I feel like we're caught in this culture right now where men are trying to be alpha and women are trying to be alpha, and it's almost like looked down on. And I just want to encourage you that when you start praying, and that would be my other one, I'm just going to give you 2 and then let Chris give you 2. When you start praying for your man and praying with him, and you make God the center and the foundation of your relationship, and you enter into an agreement together to seek God first at all costs and never make a decision without praying together and just being on that same prayer life page, the prayer and the honoring of your husband is going to change the game for you. Chris and I are really avid believers about both of those. And now you go ahead.
So 2 of the ones that I will say is you need to laugh together as often and as much as possible. Find humor in your life and find humor in each other and the things you do. And if you can't find that humor, well, then just look harder. And the second thing is you need to physically touch each other every single day. Doesn't have to be a sexual way.
It doesn't have to be sexy time, but it's nice if it is. But not every day. But you need to have sexy time. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm so sorry, but you said sexy time, and you know how I am about sexy time.
Well, I didn't actually say that.
Well, you said physically touch, and then my mind
right.
being
Well,
I know.
I'm
like, oh, no.
No, I know.
Now I want to go have sexy time right now instead of going to the gym, but we're going to go to the gym and then...
You're going to go to the gym because you're being disciplined right now.
Okay, yes.
But what I mean is a hug, but a nice embrace, a kiss, a slow kiss, even a dance together. But just something to where you guys connect with your skin, because that is going to take you miles and miles further, especially during very, very difficult times. So those are my two things. Guys, we will do a series and we will talk about...
We want your questions.
We want your
Ask
questions
us.
and we will do a series. If it's something you guys would like us to make over the course of the next few weeks, we would be very happy to do it, but we want to make sure that it's something you want to hear about. So remember, as always, like, share, comment, and subscribe.
We love you.
Thank you guys so much for all of your wonderful words. You guys are just so... You're such a blessing to have, to see all the kindness and the love that you're giving to us each and every day. And it keeps us going. When we get frustrated, believe me, you guys,
your comments matter.
Your comments matter. And they even if we don't respond to all of them, they really do make a difference.
They do.
But
Okay.
as always,
Deuces.
Deuces.